Come on the air, we have breaking election news. A lawsuit has been filed to try and keep some Harris County voting locations open past 7 p.m. when the polls are scheduled to close.
The case was filed at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Investigative reporter Cheryl Mercedes is live at NRG Arena at election headquarters with more on the case. Cheryl?
Len, Mia, what this is an application asking that certain polling locations stay open beyond the 7 o'clock hour. Now, this was filed by the Texas Organizing Project, and it names Harris County leaders such as Harris County Judge Lina Hidalgo, the Commissioner's Court, and Elections Administrator himself, asking that they delay the closing of the polls. It cites numerous delays and issues at various locations throughout Harris County, specifically 9 locations that have had issues that have prevented or delayed people from voting today. We've told you about some of them. Now, here is an example. There are a lot of exhibits, lots of examples. I pulled 3 for you. One of them from Baker Ripley. Someone wrote, quote, "I showed up and could not get in to vote." Another one came from a poll monitor at the Sunnyside Multi-Service Center. He or she writes, "Polling place was open, but the machines were down." And lastly, someone else wrote who said they went to Navigation Boulevard, unable to vote because the key is unavailable, but a poll monitor is working on it. Now, KHOU election law analyst Chris Feldman just told me by phone that he is looking into this and that the document has not been signed, but a hearing is underway right now to determine what will happen to this. So we're speaking with him and staying in touch with those folks to see what might happen and if they will keep the polls open until 8 o'clock specifically at those 9 locations. We did ask some Harris County leaders and elections administrators here for a response to that lawsuit, and we have not heard back. We're hoping to hear soon. Len, Mia?
All right, Cheryl, a little election night drama. We'll see how it plays out and continue to follow it. Taking a live look now at the Baker Ripley polling location. This is in the East End. This location is where some of the complaints Cheryl was talking about that lawsuit stems from.
And tonight, the KHOU 11 News political team is on the road covering the biggest race in Texas. That's the race for governor. We're also live across Harris County with the different candidates, and we're staged at NRG election headquarters, as you saw from Cheryl's live shot, for ballot processing. And right now, we are giving you a live look at the early and mail-in ballots being counted in counties all across Southeast Texas.
Yeah, early votes will be among the very first that will be counted tonight, as you can see here from our graphics. These are live pictures of the vote cams in Galveston, Brazoria, Montgomery, Fort Bend, and Harris counties.
So much of this continues tonight, and we want to take it to Adam Bennett, where all of those ballots will converge.
Well, Mia, the elections administrator here in Harris County told me their simulations show it's going to take between 5 to 6 hours to count all of the votes cast today here in Harris County. He told me that he can say with certainty there is no way that they will have the final unofficial tally before midnight. He is hoping to have everything done, though, by 2 a.m. at the latest. He says there are several reasons for this. Probably the most variable one is typically the lines. Remember that anybody who is in line when the polls close can still vote. So once that last voter leaves, whenever that is, it then takes judges 45 minutes up to an hour to then close that polling site. Then they have to drive the results in the machines from 782 polling sites that are spread across a land area larger than Rhode Island, all the way to this centrally located counting station here at NRG Arena. Then, once they get here, there are just 2 machines that will tabulate the votes in the nation's 3rd most populated county.
One of the factors that comes into play is the number of what we call emergency slot ballots that we may see at the polling location. And what that means is for certain voters, the second page of their ballot is not printing properly. And it has a lot to do with the fact that the way the voter is inserting the paper into the machine and how they're attempting to pull that paper out of the machine before the machine completes the printing process.
So far, more than 263,000 people in Harris County have cast their ballot just on Election Day alone. The Harris County election officials here plan to release the number of votes from Election Day alone on the hour, every hour, until we have that final unofficial total from today, whenever that ends up being. Lena, Mia.
Adam, thank you. There are 782 polling locations. Here they are, all across Harris County. That's the map. So why will it take until well past midnight for Harris County to tally up all the results?
KHOU 11 Investigates Jeremy Rogowski is live in Kingwood with some answers for us. Jeremy.
Well, Mia and Len, a big reason is the sheer size of Harris County, nearly 1,800 square miles, and again, close to 800 polling locations. Here in Kingwood, Shadow Forest Elementary is one of them. It is 36 miles away from election headquarters where Adam Bennett was at NRG Arena. And again, all the votes here, as well as from across the county, must be driven to NRG because Texas law forbids returns from being transmitted electronically. Now, we did a test run about a week ago from the farthest location, a school in Waller, and that 47-mile trip took us 47 minutes. Once returns arrive at NRG, it will take more time to validate and certify everything and to upload the digital drives which actually store the votes. And as Adam mentioned, Harris County equipment can only read 2 drives at a time. So you add that all up and the math means a long wait for results.
As we've planned it out, we're looking at 1:32 a.m. We could slip into 2:30, just depends on how the machines, if the machines are shut down properly and we don't have to spend any extra time validating what's on the vehicle.
Now, at this polling location and about 80 others in Harris County, law enforcement officers will actually deliver the equipment to NRG. We're going to track the progress of a Harris County Sheriff's deputy on the road with those ballots once the polls close. Mia and Len?
All right, Jeremy, thank you.